Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, dear students. Today we're going to continue with numbers in steps. Before I go with the lesson, let's review digit places. If we have this number 135, what are the places for each digit of this number? In fact, you are supposed to be familiar with this. But anyway, let's recall it. Actually, this number has 3 digits. This is the first digit, this is the second, and this is the third digit. What are the places of each digit of these digits? The first one is ones, second is tens, third is hundreds. So the 5 is in the ones place, 3 is in the tens place, and 1 is in the hundred place. Please focus on that because we will use this later in the lesson, especially the ones place. So the ones place is the first digit on the right of any number. Okay, now if I start at 0 and count on in steps of 5. Well, I say 205. Let's see this together. Start at 0 and count on in steps of 5. Here the 0, I start counting from the 0. The next step will be 5 because the counting is in steps of 5, which means I'm going to add 5 at every step. This is the first step from 0 to 5. After that, I will add 5, then I've got 10, after that 15, then 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, then 40, then 45, then 50, then 55, and so on. Here are the numbers: 0, then 5, then 10, then 15, 20, then 25, then 30, then 35, then 40, then 45, then 50, then 55, then 60, then and so on. Now, what do we see in the ones place of each number? Here 0, here 5, here the ones place. Here we have 2 digits. We have the 0, we have the 1. The ones place is 0, so 0. And in the ones place in 15 we have 5. In the ones place in 20 we have 0. In the ones place here we have 5. So all the numbers starts with either 0 or 5 in the ones place. Let's take for example 45. It's in the ones place there is 5. Let's take 50. In the ones place it's 0. So the question was, will I say 205? Actually yes, because the number in the ones place is 5, and here all the numbers either 0 or 5. So if I still counting, or if I go on counting in steps of 5, after many numbers I will get 205. Since the digit 5 in the ones place is 205, as I told you, we will say 205 when we count on in steps of 5, but in case we started from 0. Now I will start at 147. I'm going to start the counting from this, or at this number 147, and I will count back. This time I'm not going to count on, but I'm going to count back in steps of 5. The question is, will I say 55? If you remember, when we counted on, we just added every time a number, but now because we are going to count back, we are going to subtract or minus every step. So now we are going to count back in steps of 5, which means I'm going to minus every step 5. But the number we are going to start at is 147. I'm going to start counting back from this number. So start at 147 and count back in steps of 5. So we will have 147. After that, I'm going to minus 5. I'll get 142. After that, minus 5 is 137. Minus 5, 132. Minus 5, 127. Minus 5, 122. Minus 5, 117. Minus 5, 112, and so on until we got 97. And if still go on counting back, we'll get more numbers. Now I want you to look at the numbers in the ones place. What's the number in the ones place in 112? It's 2, right? What's the number in the ones place in the number 117? It's 7. What's the ones place in this number is 2. What's the ones place here is 7. The ones place here is 2. The ones place here is 7. So and this number is 2, and in this number is 7. So 2, 7, 2, 7, 2, 7, 2, 7. The question was, will I say 55? The question is saying, if I still count him back, will I reach this number 55? Let's take a look at the ones place here. It's 5, right? Okay, because it's 5 and all the ones place numbers here is either 2 or 7, I think will not, but for sure will not get 55, because if we look here, it's 2 or 7, but here we have 5. So in 55, the digit in the ones place is 5, so we will not say 55 when we count back in steps of 5 when we start from 147. I hope this is clear for you guys. So let's go on. Now we'll start at the number 416 and count back in steps of 10. In this time, in steps of 10, not in 5. Well, I say 86. Okay, this is the number I'm going to start counting back from. So it's 416. If I minus, because now it's counting back, which means I have to minus or subtract. So 416 minus 10 is 406. 406 minus 10 is 396. If I minus 10, I will get 386. If I still go on minus 10, I will get 376, then 366, then 356, then 346, then 336, then 326, then 316. Let's take a look at the ones place in each number. So in the first one, it was 6. Second, it was 6. Then 6, 6. All the numbers in the has the ones placed 6, right? Or the digit 6 in the ones place. Which means if we still count them back again and again and again, all the numbers appear will be having 6, the number 6 in the ones place. So here are the numbers. Okay, but if you remember our question, well, I say 86. Okay, since the digit 6 in the ones place in 86, we will for sure say 86 when we count back in steps of 10 from, but in case we start from 416, because as you see here, all the numbers has the number 6 in the one place. Hopefully today's lesson was easy. This is the end, so inshallah I'll see you in the next lesson.